For years, Eritrea was a diplomatic afterthought for Washington, isolated, sanctioned, and largely ignored. But in 2026, that's changed. Eritrea is now at the center of a new American strategy for the Red Sea, not out of goodwill, but necessity. The Trump-era shift to transactional foreign policy means the U.S. is less concerned with Eritrea's politics and more with what it can offer. Eritrea's long coastline and independent stance make it a valuable asset in a region where maritime security is under threat. The Red Sea's instability and attacks on shipping have forced Washington to rethink its old reliance on Djibouti. Now, Eritrea's geography is seen as a solution to America's vulnerabilities in this critical corridor. The U.S. isn't seeking a new ally or democracy. It wants access, influence, and a counterweight to rivals. This is a pragmatic pivot, driven by self-interest and the realities of great power competition. Eritrea's role is rising, not because it's changed, but because the world around it has. Eritrea's importance starts with geography. The Red Sea is a global economic lifeline. Over 10% of world trade, including vital oil and gas, passes through these waters each year. Disruptions here ripple across global markets, as seen when Houthi attacks forced ships to reroute around Africa, costing billions. The Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the Gate of Tears, is now a choke point plagued by instability. Non-state actors have shown they can threaten the world economy from this narrow corridor. With Russia and China expanding their naval presence, the old security order is under strain. The Red Sea is now a front line of strategic competition, not a safe commercial highway. For Washington, ensuring stability here is a top priority. Passive observation is no longer an option. The U.S. needs new partners and more presence, which is why Eritrea's coastline is suddenly in focus. The stakes are global, and the clock is ticking. In geopolitics, geography is destiny, and Eritrea's is unmatched. With over 1,000 kilometers of Red Sea coastline, Eritrea sits beside the world's busiest shipping lanes and the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Its deep-water ports, especially Assab, offer direct access to maritime choke points and crisis zones. The UAE's use of Assab during the Yemen conflict proved Eritrea's ports are operational and strategically valuable. Despite its tough rhetoric, Eritrea has shown it's open to pragmatic, transactional partnerships. For the U.S., access to Eritrean territory would provide a crucial alternative to crowded Djibouti. It means better intelligence, faster response, and more flexibility in a volatile region. Eritrea's geography, long overlooked, now perfectly matches America's shifting strategic needs. Sometimes the map really does change the game. For 2 decades, America's military presence in the Horn of Africa has revolved around Djibouti's Camp Lemonnier, but Djibouti's popularity is now a problem. France, Japan, Italy, and China all have bases there. China's naval base, just miles from the U.S. facility, creates security and intelligence risks. The crowded environment leads to logistical headaches and a dangerous concentration of assets. If Djibouti's government ever restricted access, U.S. operations across the region could grind to a halt. The old strategy of relying on one hub is no longer sustainable. Washington needs redundancy, flexibility, and new partners to avoid a single point of failure. Eritrea, just to the north, offers a way to diversify and regain strategic initiative. The search for alternatives is urgent, and Eritrea is now at the top of the list. In great power competition, putting all your eggs in one basket is a risk America can't afford. America's approach to Eritrea reflects a broader shift from values-driven diplomacy to hard-nosed realism. The Trump-era doctrine asks, what can this country do for the U.S.? Ideological alignment is now secondary. Eritrea's human rights record is no longer a deal-breaker. Its strategic location is what matters. The U.S. is less interested in transforming Eritrea and more focused on leveraging its assets for American gain. Countries once dismissed as pariahs are now judged by their utility, encountering rivals like China and Russia. Access to Eritrean ports outweighs the diplomatic costs of engagement. This isn't about exporting democracy, it's about securing power and influence in a contested world. The U.S. can criticize Eritrea's politics while still pursuing a pragmatic partnership. In today's global chess game, leverage Trump's ideals. Assab is the crown jewel of Eritrea's coastline, a strategic asset with proven value. Its location near Yemen and the Bab el-Mandeb Strait makes it a perfect hub for military and surveillance operations. The UAE's upgrades during the Yemen war showed Assab can support major, long-term deployments. For the U.S., Assab is move-in ready, uncongested, secure, and close to the action. Unlike Djibouti, Assab offers operational freedom and less risk of espionage from rivals. Russia's interest in establishing a naval facility here adds urgency for Washington. Securing access to Assab would boost U.S. capabilities and deny a key rival a strategic foothold. The competition for Assab is fierce. Its value is recognized by every major power. For American planners, Assab is not just an option, it's a necessity. In the Red Sea chess match, Assab is a piece the U.S. can't afford to lose. America's Eritrea pivot is part of a wider scramble for Red Sea influence. China's Djibouti base and Belt and Road investments have expanded its reach and complicated U.S. operations. Russia, too, is pushing for naval access in Sudan and Eritrea, seeing the Red Sea as vital for its energy exports and military ambitions. The visit of a Russian warship to Massawa in 2024 signaled Moscow's intent to secure a foothold. For Washington, relying solely on Djibouti risks ceding ground to these rivals. Engaging Eritrea is a proactive move to balance China and Russia's growing presence. Diversifying partnerships ensures the U.S. isn't outmaneuvered in a region too important to lose. The contest is as much about denying adversaries as gaining new advantages. In this high-stakes game, Eritrea is a critical piece on the board. Eritrea's fierce independence, once a diplomatic headache, is now a strategic asset. Its non-alignment and self-reliance mean it's not tied to any major power or alliance. For Washington, this offers flexibility, no treaty obligations, just focused, transactional cooperation. A full U.S. base is unlikely, but access agreements and intelligence sharing are realistic and mutually beneficial. This lily-pad approach lets America project power without overcommitting. Eritrea's value has soared, not because it changed, but because the world did. The Red Sea is more volatile, and old strategies no longer work. Eritrea's isolation and pragmatism now make it a key player in a new strategic game. In the turbulent Red Sea, having a wildcard like Eritrea is a powerful advantage.